Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this, what is it, like the 20th? I always say it's the 20th episode of Black Bunny Hole. Hi, it's me, your Captain Sheba speaking. Here on the Black Bunny Hole, I fuck around so you can find out. How you been? Pretty good, I hope? I was here last week, right? Yeah, I think I did it on Tuesday. Did you like that episode of Pearl Bailey? Learned a lot, huh? She's so cool. I hope any diehard fans of mine, just like are getting tickled at the glimpses of the different people who I'm intrigued by and in many ways inspired by. How's that look? Pretty good, I think. All right, so with no further ado, who are we going to be talking about today? Last week was Miss Pearl Bailey. This week is someone who's, I think, a contemporary. Yeah, when was Pearl Bailey? I think she was 1927. So, yeah. This person is a contemporary. You probably won't be able to tell from the Chiron. I have a quote from them, but we are going to be talking about, hold on, I just want to make sure it's gonna kind of look good and make sense. Okay, we are talking about, thank you, my sound is great, Miss Eartha Kitt. Woo! I forgot to type it in, but that's okay. So, Eartha Mae Kitt. That was also Pearl Bailey's middle name. Her born name was Eartha Mae Keith. Yeah, okay, let's bring myself to the big screen. And we'll just go through a little stuff here. Hold on. Okay. Great. Eartha. Should I make that even bigger? Let's see. Sorry about this. Here we go. Oh, sorry, at 300. Never mind. Okay. Well, Eartha Mae Kitt, born in the small town of North South Carolina, another East Coast girl, January 17th, 1927, which I think makes her an Aquarius. Her mother, Annie Mae, which is the name of my grandmother and my great-great-grandmother, Annie Mae Keith, nee Riley, was of Cherokee and African descent. And so, okay, little is known of her father, but it's reported that he was the owner of the farm where she had been born. She talks about how, she was born onto a cotton plantation, and she picked cotton as a kid. And so the implication is that it's a white man and that she was conceived by rape. Kit's daughter, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there was a biographer was like, oh, it's this man, but Eartha Kitt's daughter was like, nah, that's not it. Anyway, Eartha Kitt is conceived, allegedly the child of rape. Her mother soon moves in and lives with a black man who allegedly refused to accept Eartha because of her relatively pale complexion. Can y'all imagine being raped and then being with a man who's not going to accept your child and doing this? So since the man refused to accept Eartha because of her complexion, she was raised by a relative who was named Aunt Rosa. Yeah, Aunt Rosa. And apparently in this household she was abused. So apparently after the death of her mother, Annie Mae, Eartha was sent to live with another relative who was named Mamie Kitt. There's a little thing here that says Kitt may have in fact been Eartha's biological mother. What? Can I get some more information on that? This is such a strange thing that I had not really, that I feel like I would like more information on. But anyway, she went to live with Mamie Kitt in Harlem, New York City, where she attended the Metropolitan Vocational High School, which was later renamed the High School of Performing Arts. B, do you know of that school? Our resident New Yorker. Okay, so Miss Kitt has had a pretty rough go of it so far. Neglected by her parents, raised in poverty, kind of bounced around between relatives, abused within these things. Okay, so then 1943, it says that she starts her career. And so in 1943, she's what, like 15? She joined a dance troupe called the Catherine Dunham Company. And look at Catherine Dunham. I saw another one. She's a black woman. Here we go. Here we go. Catherine Dunham. Look at this cutie lady. Who is this person? Born in 1909, though. And I bet she's a really interesting person, but I digress. Okay, so she gets started at Catherine's dance company, remained a member of the troupe until 1948, so about 5 years. When she got started, they were like, oh my gosh, this girl has a really interesting voice. You've heard it. It's like kind of like a purr and kind of like this. And so she records the hits Let's Do It, C'est Si Bon. Did you do another one? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, a series of different hits. This kind of just like goes through the hits like from 1948 to like 1955. And yeah, she does Santa Baby in 1953. Her unique style and voice was enhanced as she became fluent in French during her years performing in Europe, which we'll speak about more later. She apparently spoke 4 languages. And I don't know, it also says needs a quotation to verify, but it says she's thought to have learned German and Dutch from her stepfather. Which stepfather? The one that didn't accept her because she was light-skinned? I don't know. English from her mother, and French from the European cabaret circuit. Anyway, so she spoke 4 languages, those ones I just mentioned. She sang in 11 languages, oh my God, which she demonstrated in a bunch of, live recordings of her cabaret. Diana Ross actually said, of the Supremes, mother of Tracy Ellis Ross, she said that Diana Ross said that she based her look largely off of Eartha Kitt's, her look and sound, which I can totally get. Though I always thought that like Diana Ross, her voice was a little like thin. But yeah, Billy's heard of that school in Brooklyn. Cool. In New York. Anyway, that's awesome. Okay, so this is her just getting started. In 1950, Orson Welles, who, let's see, this guy, Orson Welles, he's what? An American actor, director, screenwriter, and producer. Is he the one who did Rosebud? Is that him? Citizen Kane. Yep. Okay, anywho. We can maybe go to him during the lightning round. All right, so Orson Welles gave Kitt her first starring role. She was Helen of Troy in his staging of Dr. Faustus. I feel like in my mind, I'm way more cultured than I am, but I never know of these things. Oh, Dr. Faustus. Oh, tried by Christopher Marlowe. Did I read this? I don't even know, girl. Okay, Orson Welles, who, by the way, fucking loved Eartha Kitt. There's a part at the beginning what did he say about her? What did Orson Welles say about Miss Eartha Kitt? Orson Welles once called her the most exciting woman in the world. And that's pretty wild because I think a lot of people consider that white man a very exciting, creative person. And look who he thought of as, his muse as the actual most exciting. And woman in the world is a caveat because I'm pretty sure she was more exciting than most men throughout history. Okay, so let's get back to it. Orson Welles giving her a starring role. 2 years later, she's in some other thing. She signs a deal with 20th Century Fox, does a bunch of things. She does C'est Si Bon. She does Santa Baby. Apparently, it's alleged that Orson Welles and Eartha Kitt had an affair during her 1957 run in Shinbone Alley. Okay, a musical. But Kit apparently categorically denied this. She said, "I never had sex with Orson Welles. It was a working situation and nothing else." And you know what? I believe her. Yeah, that makes sense. I think she's pretty open about who she is and doesn't shy away from the things that she's done. And that she's like, no, that wasn't one of them. I believe it. Okay, so great working relationship. He does a bunch of things, has a bunch of records. There's a Swedish thing. Throughout the rest of the 1950s and early 60s, Kit was like hustling. She was working in film, TV, nightclubs. She went to Broadway again. In the late 1960s, Batman featured Kit as Catwoman after Julie Newmar had left the show in 1967. This is Eartha Kitt. Oh, Julie Newmar, one of my favorite movies. Tu Wong Fu with Love, Judy Newmar, is apparently about this woman. Cool. Apparently she's very statuesque. Okay, anyway. She is done with Batman, and so Eartha Kitt gets hired, and I feel like it's like a pretty iconic role for her. Apparently in 1956, Kitt published a autobiography called Thursday's Child, which would later serve as an inspiration for David Bowie's song Thursday's Child. Y'all know that song? I frankly, I don't know many David Bowie songs. Okay, Billy says, wow, that's high praise from OW, Orson Welles. She seems like she was a fun, real person. I agree, baby. That's why I like her. Yeah, so, okay, her autobiography was the inspiration for David Bowie, another very interesting person's song. Okay, so next, this comes up and says, the White House incident. So, January 1968, during Lyndon B. Johnson's administration. Here, let me just read this a little bit more. Okay, so Lyndon B. Johnson is president. Kitt encountered a substantial professional setback after she made anti-war statements during a White House luncheon. Kitt was asked by the First Lady, Lady Bird Johnson, who you've heard of, about the Vietnam War. Kitt replied to the First Lady, "You send the best of this country off to be shot and maimed." Hold on. "You send the best of this country off to be shot and maimed. No wonder the kids rebel and take pot." During a During a question and answer session, Kitt stated, okay, so the children of America are not rebelling for no reason. They are not hippies for no reason at all. We don't have what we have on Sunset Boulevard, I assume a bunch of homeless hippies, for no reason. They are rebelling against something. There are so many things burning the people of this country, particularly mothers. They feel that they are going to raise sons, and I know what it's like. And you have children of your own, Miss Johnson. We raise children and we send them to war. Oh, black women getting a little too close to the truth. And Kitt's remarks reportedly caused white woman Miss Johnson to burst into tears. Oh. It's widely believed that Kitt's career in the United States was ended following her comments about the Vietnam War, after which the CIA branded her a, quote, hold on, a sadistic nymphomaniac. You know, honestly, that's pretty great. Yeah, so she was branded a sadistic nymphomaniac by the CIA. They started a CIA dossier about her. It was discovered by Seymour Hersh in 1975. And they published like an article about the dossier on Eartha Kitt. The dossier contained comments about Kitt's sex life, her family history, along with negative opinions about her that like her colleagues held at the time. Kitt's response to the dossier was to say, like, I don't understand what this is about. I don't understand what this is about. I think it's disgusting. I can totally see her saying that, can't you? Yeah, and so following the incident, Kitt devoted her energies to performances in Europe and Asia. Because, yeah, after you speak honestly to wealthy white people in power, that's when they cancel you. And I really love Eartha Kitt for many reasons, but one of which I see a lot of um, people being afraid of being canceled. Oftentimes, though, it's really wealthy white people who are afraid that if people with less power speak up against them, are mean to them, say they've done wrong, that they've been canceled, that they've been canceled, oh, they've been censored, oh, no, we've been censored. And it's just like, girl, please. Did the CIA have a dossier on you calling you a sadistic nymphomaniac? You all right then, okay? And don't let you think that like, oh God, she spoke honestly to the first lady and she was canceled. They killed her, right? No, you kidding? She took her ass to Europe and Asia where they fucking loved her. She actually didn't even know about the dossier until 1974 when like this article was published. So yeah, apparently there's like a documentary that was like in 2022 called Catwoman versus the White House, where they use like photos and clippings and footage to show how Kit disrupted the White House luncheon. Love that for her. Love people speaking truth to power, even at great risk to their personal safety and professional well-being. So in the 70s, then Broadway came a calling. She was in this TV thing on the BBC. There's this show called the Good Old Days. Let's see, yeah, Good Old Days. In 1987, yeah, she did some Sondheim stuff in London, and then in 1978. So what is that? 10 years later. Yeah, 10 years later. She comes back to New York and has a return to Broadway. What's her return to Broadway musical? This describes it as a triumphant turn in the Broadway spectacle Timbuktu in 1978. In the musical, this is interesting, one song gives a recipe for mahone, a preparation for cannabis, in which her sultry purring rendition of the refrain, constantly stirring with a long wooden spoon, was distinctive. I'm always interested like in the people who are like writing these pages and the things that they find interesting. Love that. So after that performance, she gets nominated for a Tony, hello, for Best Actress in a Musical. So then, what does she do? In the 90s, she appeared as the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz. In the 2000s, she was in she did another couple of things. Yeah, okay. Let's get to the really interesting part. No, this is already interesting. So, voiceover work. In 1978, Kit did a voiceover at a television commercial for the album Aja by the rock group Steely Dan. One of her more unusual roles was Ka'a in this BBC radio adaptation of the Jungle Book. Oh, he's a giant snake. Oh, love that. Okay. And she apparently voiced Bagheera in the Jungle Book. Is this different than? Oh, I was like, wait, what? Okay, so this is like the live action Jungle Book, which I actually also remember. Okay, so Kit also lent her distinctive voice to Yzma in The Emperor's New Groove. Ugh, such a good movie. This is her. Can you see the purple? That's her iconic character, iconic film. That's so good. I'm pretty sure she was also in Harriet the Spy. Let's see. Am I right about that? Harriet the Spy, Eartha. Am I right? I knew it! I'm right! Hold on. Okay, so in Harriet the Spy, she is like this crazy old rich lady recluse. I have the secret of life. Yes, darling, you simply crawl into your bed and you never, ever leave it again. Which is interesting, actually. I had a great great aunt who, when her husband died, she took to her bed. She had what do you call it? Like a butler, but a woman, like a housekeeper who did like all the stuff for her. And she's like, if I can pay someone to do it, I'm going to. Anyway, my mother has a very different approach to life in widowdom, but interesting. Anyway, that was a great film that she was into. Loved Harriet the Spy. I don't know why they don't like talk about it in this, but they should. Apparently, she won 2 Emmy Awards for The Emperor's New Groove, which is a great one. So good for her. Okay, so let's see. What is my girl doing now? Now we're already in her later years, 1984. So she's like 60. She returned to the music charts. She had a disco song titled "Where Is My Man?" Where is my man? Oh my God, she's iconic. Look at this. Great, hell yes. Apparently, it reached the top 40 on the UK singles chart, peaked at number 36. Not bad. Apparently, it's a standard in discos and dance clubs at the time. The single was followed by an album, I Love Men. Love that for her. She found like a bunch of new audiences in like nightclubs in Europe, and apparently a whole new generation of gay male fans. And she responded by frequently giving benefit performances in support of HIV and AIDS. She apparently had like a follow-up hit, Cha Cha Heels, featuring Bronski Beat. I don't know who that is, but this kid is tough face. That's difficult. Okay, she did another thing, a Sondheim thing, where she received a bunch of standing ovations every night for her rendition of I'm Still Here. And then she went on to perform her own one-woman show at the Shaftesbury Theatre to sold-out houses for 3 weeks in early 1989. Yes, bitch. Okay, 1990s. What's my girl doing? She does like a fundraiser with George Burns, who's like a big famous comedian from back then. Everyone like loved this guy. It was arranged that Jimmy James would impersonate Kitt, and then Kitt would walk out and take the microphone. This was met with a standing ovation. Yes, I love somebody with a flair for the dramatic, and it sounds like Miss Kitt was that. Okay, let me go back to Big because I know you guys want to see more of it. That's it. Okay, so she's doing all this stuff. She returns to the screen. She is in Ernest. Oh, Ernest Scared Stupid. I remember those. I remember that one kind of. Jim Varney, man. What a weird freaking time the 80s and 90s were. Jim Varney, man. I thought this guy was so funny. Oh, he's the voice of Slinky Dog in Toy Story? Huh? Wow, that's amazing. Okay, anyway, Ernest. He's also like kind of hot in that. Even though I know like, no, you're Ernest. You're not hot. You're goofy. Okay, anyway. Apparently she was Old Lady Hackmore in that movie. And then she was in, this is a movie I haven't seen, but I'm sure Billy has. It's called Boomerang. This is a 1992 film starring Eddie Murphy. And yeah, anyway, she's a supporting role in this Eddie Murphy film. My girl is still making money. She was on an episode of The Nanny. She performed as herself. She serenaded Maxwell, Mr. Sheffield, with a song in French. And then, in November 1996, she appeared in a Old Navy commercial. Y'all remember these? Eartha Kitt, Old Navy. Let's see.
Your assignment, to find magic and the Old Navy surplus pants.
Impossible.
Magic, I'll never let you and your surplus pants out of my sight. You'll flip over the price.
I'm flipping over the style.
My girl hawking some surplus pants before it was, popular. Or maybe she made it popular. So yes, my girl has been getting money throughout her life, despite all attempts to stop her. And we love that. We love that for her. Here, let me, Sheba Big, you're welcome. Okay, 2000s. Okay, yeah, she won an Annie Award. What is an Annie Award? Okay, some sort of a TV award or whatever, for her starring role as Yzma in Emperor's New Groove. Oh my God, you're so right. Okay, she also was Madame Zeroni in Holes. Remember that movie? Digging up them holes. Really great movie about child labor and being nice to gypsies, keeping your promise to gypsies is really what that thing is about. So yeah, in August 2007, Kitt was a spokesperson for MAC Cosmetics. Can we see that? Ooh, hold on. Eartha Kitt, MAC. Let's see what she looks like. MAC Cosmetics. What do we got? That's pretty tired. If this is what it is, it feels very muted in terms of like Eartha Kitt, but all right. Okay, so getting her sponsorship money, getting her voiceover money. She re-recorded "Smoke Gets in Your Eyes" for this MAC thing, and it was apparently played at all MAC locations. Great. So she was in this independent film with Vanessa Williams called "And Then Came Love." Don't remember that. She did a bunch of cabaret stuff. She was in "My Life as a Teenage Robot," which is another great show. And then she was a guest star in "Once Upon a Time in Springfield," where she was depicted as one of Krusty's past marriages. Krusty the Clown. Okay, love that. So that's pretty much her, professional life. And here is like some stuff about her personal life. Okay, so she had some romances with producer Arthur Lowe. Don't know that guy. Cosmetics magnate Charles Revson, who created Revlon makeup. You might have heard of it. And banking heir John Barry Ryan III. She married this guy, John William McDonald. Ugh, God. Men back then just had the most boring ass names. They were so regular. Anyway, he was an associate of a real estate investment company. They got together in 1960. Well, they married in 1960. They had one child, a daughter named Kitt McDonald, who was born on November 26th. But Kitt and he separated in 63, divorced in 64. Apparently, she was a longtime resident of the state of Connecticut, the nutmeg state. Bet you didn't know that. And for a little bit, she moved to New York, but she returned to Connecticut for a while to be near her daughter and her daughter's family. Okay, so activism, because my girl Kitt is not just a, looks queen, a fucking singer, a dancer, also an activist. So yeah, she was active in a number of social causes throughout the 50s and 60s. She did like stuff for underprivileged youth in the Watts area of Los Angeles. This was kind of around the LA riots. She was involved in a group of youths in the DC area called Rebels Without a Cause. which was like stuff to like clean up the streets and establish recreation areas and stuff. What else did my girl do? Okay. Yeah, I hope the rebels were a good role model for the kids. That's what she was hoping for. I was reading a whole little thing on that. Yeah, so she was a member of the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. Her criticism of the Vietnam War and its connection to poverty and racial unrest in 1968 can be seen as part of a larger, peace activism commitment. And like many political figures, politically active public figures of her time, she was under surveillance by the CIA beginning in 1956. And when the New York Times was going to publish, the stuff, they asked her if it was okay, and she was like, I have nothing to be afraid of, and I have nothing to hide. And that is what I am trying to incorporate into a lot of my life, because it's true. I'm good. You might be good too, so it's okay. Okay, she became a vocal advocate for LGBT rights. She publicly supported same-sex marriage, which she considered a civil right. She was quoted as saying, I support it, gay marriage, because we're asking for the same thing. If I have a partner and something happens to me, I want that partner to enjoy the benefits of what we have reaped together. It's a civil rights thing, isn't it? She right. Yup. Went to a LGBT fundraiser, including a mega event in Baltimore. Love it. An agent for Atlantic Entertainment Group said, Eartha Kitt is fantastic. Appears at so many LGBT events in support of civil rights. And then, like, in 1992, she gave an interview speaking about her gay following, saying, we're all rejected people. We know what it is to be refused. We know what it is to be oppressed, depressed, and then accused. And I am very much cognizant of that feeling. Nothing in the world is more painful than rejection. I am a rejected, oppressed person, and so I understand them as best I can, even though I am a heterosexual. Love that for her. Didn't I see that, like, she had a threesome with James Dean and, like, Paul Newman? Threesome. Whoop! Look at these hotties. Okay, so let's see. Visit this little page. Okay, so this article says, let's talk about the threesome between Paul Newman and James Dean. Let's. So yeah, she, I don't know. This is like a kind of a rumor, but this says the acceptability that the probability of this threesome is not zero. I think it happened, definitely. Like, they were some fucking hot teas. And yeah, if Paul Newman was as smart and interesting as he seems to be, I bet he did it. Okay, so this brings us to 2008, when Eartha Kitt dies of colon cancer, 3 weeks shy of her 82nd birthday. She was at her house in Connecticut. Luckily, she was with her daughter, who described the last days with her mother. Quote from Kitt, I was with her when she died. She left this world literally screaming at the top of her lungs. Hold on, let me big it up. Okay, I was with her constantly. She lived not even 3 miles from my house. We were together practically every day. Up until the last 2 days, she was still moving around. The doctor told us she'll leave very quickly and her body will just start to shut down. But when she left the world with a bang. She left it how she lived it. She screamed her way out of here, literally. I truly believe her survival instincts were so part of her DNA that she was not going to go quietly or willingly. It was just the two of us hanging out during the last days. She was very funny. We didn't have to talk because I always knew how she felt about me. I was the love of her life. So the last part of her life, we didn't have to have these heart-to-heart talks. She started to see people that weren't there. She thought I could see them too, but of course I couldn't, Anyway, I am, really happy to see that, like, her last moments, one, that she lived a long ass life, that she got to do a bunch of amazing things, and that she left it like, fuck you. I've done some, what do you call it? Some stuff on Eartha Kitt, because I just think she's so cool. Let me go to my Eartha Kitt. See what comes up. Eartha Kitt. Nope. What's happening? Ugh. Why is this looking like this? Oh God. Okay, let's try one more time. Eartha Kitt. I just want to see Eartha Kitt. I don't know. Eartha Kitt stuff. Yeah. If you've been following me for a little bit, I think on a Sheba Sunday episode, I did a little thing about Eartha Kitt, and it was like this interviewer asking her, if a man comes into her life, would she compromise for a man to come into her life? Like, God, the audacity of men throughout history is wild. They really think that, like, women exist to make themselves smaller, to let some, like, regular ass fucking dude in. So wild. But I love that she's like literally laughs at these dudes, and she's like, ha, compromise, hell no. So these are a whole bunch of things that are like her, some quotes of hers. Let's see, is this the one that she's talking? How you doing? Here we are. Here we go. This is what I was just talking about.
Comes into my life and I have to compromise? You must think about that one again. A man comes into my life and you have to compromise for what? For what?
Yeah, totally. I totally resonate with her, like, incredulousness, her, like, anger, her indignation of, like, the expectations the world had for her and other women and black women, and it's just wild. She says, many men wanted to lay me down, but few wanted to lift me up. Ooh. I also read a thing about, like, who's the guy? Not fucking Sidney Poitier, but the other guy. Tally Me Bananas, Harry Belafonte. I bet he's like, I was a civil rights leader. Did she just say tally me bananas? Shut up. So she had an autobiography, one called Confessions of a Sex Kitten. Obsessed. So, like, let's see, these aren't, like, very good things, but let's see, blah, let's see, hold on. Jeez, this is an interesting way they went about it. Oh my God. The headlines for this is really funny, actually. So this is like going through her life. She had a chilling childhood. Her family tree was twisted. She didn't belong. Her aunt was cruel. She witnessed a traumatic moment. She went out of the fire and into the frying pan. She was miserable. What? She was a survivor. She got a lucky break. I feel like this is maybe not doing her justice. Okay, let's see. This is all about Orson Welles, like, loving her. I don't know. They say he has an affair. I don't believe it. What? Oh my God, this is talking about one time on stage, like, Orson Welles, they were supposed to kiss, but he bit Eartha Kitt's lip and she started bleeding. Oh my God. Okay, so this is talking about how she had a scandalous reputation. She performed a controversial solo act at one of Paris's biggest lesbian nightclubs. Her character was named Fred, a beautiful woman who spent her life just as a man. Love that. Okay, this is not it either. She crashed and burned. Man, no, she didn't. Okay, this is interesting. She was good friends with James Dean, the Rebel Without a Cause guy. And in 1955, she was like kind of feeling wary about his like well-being because he was just like acting like distant. And so she said once when she hugged Dean, she was like, "What have they done to you? I can't feel you. Your spirit is gone." And James Dean just laughed, but a little bit later he died in a motorcycle accident. Okay. Blah blah blah. So this is talking about her relationship with this guy Arthur Lowe, whose family founded Paramount Studios. So like when they discussed getting married, like his mom was like, "No, you're not marrying a black woman." So what's this one? So apparently she also faced, some discrimination in the black community too, because she wasn't, she was too white for black audiences. Apparently when she was in a movie with Sammy Davis Jr., a whopping 2,500 theaters refused to even screen the film. According to them, as Kitt said, "I wasn't black enough to be making love to a black man on screen." Can you, why do we take any advice for people who are in older generations? They just, had really strange ways of supporting each other. Okay? I'll leave it at that. Okay. This is talking about, she had a brief romance with Harry Belafonte. Why was it brief? The morning after they slept together, Belafonte got up from the bed and said, "I don't want you to take this seriously. No black woman can do anything for me." Harry Bella who? Bella what, huh? So in her later years, she pursued men like Belafonte and Sidney Poitier, actually, only to be rejected. As Kitt said, quote, "They dated predominantly white women." Yeah. Anyway, apparently she got a flirtation with Nat King Cole. Love that. Okay, let's see this. Okay, sorry, this is talking about an affair with Nat King Cole. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, this is so amazing. So apparently Cole's wife caught on to his more than friendly gestures because Kitt received a letter from her. The note said, "I don't know if you think of yourself as some kind of temptress siren, but the film is over and Go-Go," Eartha Kitt's character in the film, "is gone. Let's leave it that way." Girl, fighting over Nat King Cole, honey, don't. This is not worth it. Okay, yeah. All these other people, Charles Bronson, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What? Her husband was haunted? What does that even mean? Okay, apparently the guy was in a Korean War and it injured and traumatized her husband. He began to use opioids to cope with the pain and psychological treatment. That's a strange way to put it, that he was haunted, but okay. Yeah, so Eartha Kitt, freaking loving her. How long have I been on? Is this let's see. Let me this up. 46 minutes. Okay, let me do a freaking lightning round real quick. Remember that? I know. Hold up. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is another cool quote that she says, though. "The price we pay for being ourselves is worth it." Yep. I love all these pictures of her just slanging herself around poles and just being such a cutie. It's about falling in love with yourself. It really is. Yeah. Just really powerful. Okay, let's see. Lightning round. Where are we going? Here we are. All right. So, I don't know how to do this. Let's see. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Here. We. Let's see. Where am I going to put this? Okay. Here. We. Go. Is it working? Did I do it? There we go. Okay. So let's go. LGBT rights, times, Watts. I kind of want to do, what's that dude's name? Orson Welles. Let's go here. Orson Welles. Okay. There's Citizen Kane. The lady, blah, blah, blah. Jane Eyre. It's all true. Rita Hayworth. Who's she? An American actress. Oh, she was the top pinup girl for GIs during World War II. That's fun. Let's see. Gene Kelly. Oh, she was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease. That's a tough one. Sorry, I thought that was going to be kind of easier to go off of, but I was wrong. Okay, let's see. Where can we go? Prognosis not great. Okay, first it was about Alois Alzheimer. Interesting. That's fun. German guy. Great. Love that for him. Let's see. Are you good? Yeah, okay. Blah, findings, blurg. Let's see. Let's go to rheumatic fever. Yep. Oh, gross. Sorry, everyone. Yuck. Okay, not a great one. Penicillin. That's a fun one. My mom used to think she was allergic to that, but turns out she's not. Oh, it's done. Okay. It's kind of a weird one. Let's go on back to Miss Kitt. Here we are. Wow. What an interesting lady. Let's see. Any other cool things? I just think she's a really interesting person. I really admire people who are themselves, even in the face of being misunderstood, even in the face of being like ridiculed and shit. Let's see what she's
Ugly
saying.
duckling was always told she's an ugly duckling. Nobody wants you. And she's trying so hard to find somebody that says, Eartha May, it's all right. You want it too. But nobody's done that yet. Maybe I have not given them a chance to do so. I don't know. But she keeps hoping.
But you must, people must have shown you affection and love in your life.
Ugh. Sorry. Just whenever these dudes talk, it's like, ugh. My girl is pouring out her heart, being like, trying to be so open and vulnerable and herself, and dudes were like, sorry, no, it's the 1970s. Ooh. What'd she say here? My recipe for life is not being afraid of myself, afraid of what I think or of my opinions. You'll notice that in the Chiron down there. Yeah, I think it's a good recipe for life. IMHO that I am working on. Like, it's tough to be a woman, a black woman, a like kind of weird queer black woman, publicly. People are super mean. Billy, what are you asking? How did she answer that? Which question? The dude? Which question? I'm not black and I'm not white. I'm not pink and I'm not green. Eartha Kitt has no color, and that is how barriers are broken. I get that. That's real. she really did break a shit ton of barriers. Ooh, look at how beautiful she is in all these. Oh my God, so pretty. Let's see. I fall in love with myself. I'm learning all the time. My tombstone will be my diploma. That's a good one. Loving that for her. The dude where she was crying, we'll play it. Let me not speak for her.
Ugly duckling was always told she's an ugly duckling. Nobody wants you. And she's trying so hard to find somebody that says, Eartha mate's all right. You want it too. But nobody's done that yet. Maybe I have not given them a chance to do so, I don't know. But she keeps hoping.
But people must have shown you affection and love in your life. Is it that you can't accept it?
The public and my daughter, yes. The public.
If
it wasn't
never
for
a man?
the public. A man?
A man?
A man has always wanted to lay me down, but he never wanted to pick me up. Ugly duckling was always told she's an ugly duckling.
So
nobody wants you.
It sounds like she was saying that, like, she's gotten a lot of her self-esteem and that love that she's been craving and the validation. She got it from her daughter and the public. And the guy was like, a man? And she was like, a man? And yeah, I think a theme throughout a lot of these is like, oof, it's tough out there if you're a awesome woman. There don't seem to be as many awesome men out there for you, as opposed to if you're an awesome man. There's no shortage of women who will, try to attach themselves to you. And if you're a not so awesome man, if we also look at what's his face, Ike Turner. Also, though, very able to still get people. But I think it's really difficult to be an amazing woman in this world. But I am very inspired and encouraged to learn about women who risk being themselves, and it pays off every time. And even when the largest, most powerful, people like the CIA are out to get you, she's just like, okay, bitch, please, I speak 11 languages, honey. I'm gonna be fine. I didn't even find out about this thing till I already made my comeback in Broadway. And then I continued to make money for decades later. So cute. You see me in my Old Navy pants, my surplus jeans. So funny. Yeah. Anyway, Eartha Kitt, really awesome lady. Really cool stop on the Black Bunny Hole Express, I'd say. Yeah, tell me your favorite, most interesting thing about Eartha Kitt. And feel free to send me any cool Eartha Kitt clips or things. Yeah, totally. All right, I think I gotta nail this. I really want to get these down to what do you call it? Oh, sorry. Oh. I want to get these down to 35 minutes, 45 minutes. But your girl's a little long-winded. I just have a lot to say. What can I say? These people are super interesting, and I want to, really flesh them out and let y'all know what I find interesting about them. You heard? Thank you, baby. Nailed it. Okay. So, love you. Thank you so much for joining me on the Black Bunny Hole. I think we fucked around on this one and found out a whole lot of good ass shit. I guess I'll see you later. Sunday. Ooh, it's gonna be an interesting one. More talk of women and our power and how to harness it and how to see through the bullshit that's going on right now. Yeah, let's look to our aunties and mamas like Miss Eartha Kitt. She's showing us the way to freedom. All right, y'all. I'm gonna see you later, okay? Let's see. That's queued up. ready, and bye.